Hi Mark, happy birthday. Deb's asked me to send you a little video just to reminisce about a few things. So I said I could do about an hour and a half, 2 hours material, but she told me to keep it short and sweet. So I'm working out, we've probably known each other 45 years, and my earliest recollections are going to your house and actually going up to the bedroom, which from memory was the coldest place I've ever been on earth. I think we saw the SAS and the Mount Everest expedition teams training up there alongside the polar bears and the penguins, and if that wasn't bad enough being cold, it also had a wind that went through it, which was like Siberia. So yeah, that reminds me of definitely reminds me of your house when we were kids. I mean, our house was cold, the Hilton's was colder, and we had frost on the inside, so you can imagine how cold your place was. For the next memory is probably when we were at, well, plenty of memories, but I can't get them all down. We used to play football at New County, and I remember you one day you came on with these, they weren't football boots, definitely not, they weren't trainers, they weren't Doc Martens, there were some boots of some description, and we used to commentate on our own games in those days. And I remember you got the Blues ball and you went to shoot, and as you shot you shouted out, "There is no substitute for power," which was a brilliant comment, but unfortunately the ball went flying over the roof and right through the windows of the Dagnalls, who lived just behind the school. Well, if that wasn't funny enough, when you had to go and get the ball, well, you ended up in a screaming match and shouting match, which ended with the words were "bourgeois bastards" from memory. So I do remember that very vividly. When we got older, we were a bit of an oddity. We stuck together. There was about 6 or 7 of us stuck together because we were Catholics and no one knew it. There weren't that many, and because we went to school every day, we tended to stick together. And Mark he got very interested in politics of different versions, which you can ask him about, and I won't embarrass him, but I do have a recollection of him in Milner Park discussing with us, the group, that him and his pal Dominic Kennedy were going to steal an RAF plane and fly it to Russia. Now, fair credit to Dominic Kennedy, he was in the RAF cadets, but from memory Mark had never even walked past an RAF scout up or anything to do with the RAF, so how he was going to take that off I'll never ever know. Next, we moved further into our teens, we got interested in girls, but unfortunately girls never got interested in us. So Mark and me own and myself decided that we'd go to Turner's dancing school and to learn to dance to Saturday Night Fever, thinking this would get the girls all over us, but true to form, that didn't go right when me and Mark in a class of 22 ended up dancing together. So yeah, that wasn't a good memory from there as well. And a couple of years later, fortunately, he met Deb, and I think on the rocking boat at Milner Park. But I think even she knocked him back 5 or 6 times before he got a date. So good on him. And following, one of the things I do notice about Mark is he cries when he laughs. He cries in floods of tears when he's laughing. It's brilliant to watch. But my brother has got this, he's got this boniest finger you've ever met, and he would poke Mark in the chest with it when they're having a debate of some sort, or he wanted to get a point across, and you could see Mark, he was fuming, and he was livid, but at the same time he would be giggling like a schoolboy, and it just had to be seen to believe. So I'd say it was the great interaction between them two. And well, I arrived in Australia in 1988. We never really lost contact, and I always see him when I go back, have a few drinks with him. I've been around to his house a few times, and I used to go down again. He must like the cold because he had that shed off lane, and that was freezing in there when he used to go in there. So I think he's got an affinity with cold. And one of the things that surprised me was Mark had the girls by this time, Emily and Olivia, and he was sat reading to them, which was a big surprise. But the biggest surprise was because you could hardly read when I left in 1988, so that was a bit of a shock, culture shock as well. Anyway, I won't drag on. What I would like to say is I'm a richer person for knowing Mark Wynn, and I value him as a friend. And one thing I will say for him, if he ever went to war and needed somebody by the right hand side who would never ever take a step backwards, he'd definitely be the bloke for me. I don't know how he'd go in a war, probably not too well, because I won't say it, he's not the brightest, to be honest, but he's loyal, I'll give him that. But he's stuck by me several times when we've not big incidents or anything like that, but he's never backed down when he's been with me, and you can't put a price on that. So as I say, I wish him in his happy birthday. Wish Deb and the girls happy, just carrying on with each other, and all the rest of the Wynns, send on my regards, and I say, it's been a pleasure, mate, to know you for this length of period. So have a great night, great day, whatever you're going to do, I'm not quite sure. And nice things happen to nice people, mate, and you're a nice guy. So as I say, happy birthday, pal. See ya.